everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Welcome to this week's Ponderous Wednesday. If you are new to my channel or don't know, Ponderous Wednesdays are my forum for taking a thought-provoking and interesting topic, having a good old ramble about it here on YouTube, and getting some interesting discussion flowing down in the comment section. Now this week we are going to be talking about physical silver versus paper silver, and to a certain extent gold as well. It's a very interesting topic. It's one which I actually looked at quite in depth when I got started investing in silver right at the very start of my adventure, and made a very quick decision that I wanted to take physical silver rather than paper silver. So I want to talk a little bit about that and why I probably will lean always towards physical silver, but I want to show today some of the potential benefits that are out there for paper silver and share some thoughts and opinions on that. Now, of course, all of the content today are just my own thoughts and opinions. I'm not a financial expert or guru. I'm just a guy who likes to talk about shiny things here on YouTube. So if you are going to go and make any financial decisions having watched this video, they're yours and yours alone, and I would highly recommend that you go and do a lot more research than watching humble old me. Now, I've got some cool things on the table here to look at whilst we go through this. And I want to first of all tell you why I want to talk about physical versus paper silver here today. And it's come up because the group orders, which I am currently arranging via the Silver Forum from European dealers, have proved to be so popular. We are buying so much silver in our little community here on the Silver Forum. I'm not joking when I'm saying we've already ordered close to 2,000 ounces, and there'll be more coming, I'm sure, over the next couple of weeks. And it's absolutely ridiculous quite how much silver is being bought. And it's raised some interesting thoughts to me, because it was looking like, I mean, we ordered something like 1,000 ounces in just week one alone. So it was looking like we were going to be ordering close to 4,000 ounces worth of silver over the course of these 4 weekends I had it open. And that is an awful lot of silver. Now, I've talked about weightiness of silver to value ratio a number of times on my channel, and it is a very pertinent question when relating to physical versus paper silver. Because undoubtedly one of the biggest benefits to having paper silver rather than physical silver is, of course, the weight and storage. If you've got some serious cash behind you that you want to invest into silver, it might well be worth looking at paper silver, because if you're buying a couple of 1,000 ounces a month, it's going to rack up very, very quickly. In addition to that, taking delivery of that much silver is an absolute task in of itself, and let me tell you, having received a couple of parcels last time at 45 and 55 kilos each, I mean, I know it's a bit of a first world problem to be having issues unboxing a very large box of silver, but at the same time it's not really something that's very practical at home. And you know, I got asked some very interesting questions by the delivery man when it came, and I fobbed him off saying it was essentially you know, geological samples, big old fossil rocks and things like that, and go from there. But that aside, you know, obviously you've got the physical weight side of things, storing it, whether you've got that stored in your house. If you've got that stored in your house, you've got to think about things like insurance and security and safety. You know, there's a lot to consider investing in that much physical silver. You know, silver is heavy. It's not as heavy as gold, but in terms of weight to value ratio, it's very, very heavy indeed. So it's definitely something to think about. So paper silver, of course, completely negates that aspect. You know, you invest essentially in numbers on a screen. If you want to go and invest in 10,000 ounces of silver, you just put some numbers in a screen and send the money off, and off it goes, and it's done. However, of course, there are plenty of potential negatives to factor in around that. I'm a firm believer, and I always have been, and I probably always will be as well, in that if you do not physically hold these metals, then you don't own them. And one of the whole premises of investing in precious metals to start with is the fact that they are a hedge against kind of the fiat currencies. They are they're basically insurance for your cash, insurance for your wealth. So if you don't hold them and there is an economic collapse, it's not necessarily going to be possible or practical to get your funds out from wherever it may be. And if you have a huge run on silver, in terms of paper silver, I mean, we all know about quite how much paper silver there is out there. If there was a run on that, and that's the only scenario in my mind where silver will shoot the moon, so to speak, in that there will be a massive shortage of physical supply for demand if all of the paper contracts out there were to be called in at once. You know, we have so much paper silver on the markets, and I think I mean, I read an article that somewhere like 500 to 1 is the ratio of physical silver to paper silver out there at the moment. So, sorry, or the other way around, there's 500 ounces of paper silver to 1 ounce of physical silver out there at the moment being traded. And obviously, if all of that was called in at once, if all of those big investors called in at once, you know, there could be quite a lot of issues in the silver market, and that would of course potentially make a run on silver. So I've talked on my channel a number of times about how, you know, $1,000 an ounce silver, $100 an ounce silver is, you know, very unlikely. Certainly in the short term. Okay, $100 ounce silver may be possible in 5, 10, 15 years, depending on inflation and depending on kind of economic circumstances. But it's certainly not going to happen overnight in any stretch of the imagination. So those are the only circumstances where I really see that happening. Now, of course, that's a risk, and that might put you off investing in paper silver. It certainly put me off investing in paper silver. Not owning it is, you know, really, really hard for me to fathom why you would necessarily want to do that, other than if you had a huge sum of money to invest. Now, of course, the advantage of having paper silver over physical silver, certainly more relevant for us here in the UK, is the price of it. So here in the UK, as you all know, we pay considerable taxes on our physical silver. If you buy it from a UK dealer, you pay, you know, 20% sales tax. If you buy it from Europe, you still have to pay for shipping. You also still have to pay for a bit of tax as well. The cheapest silver that you can buy here in the UK is probably 17 to 20% above the spot price at any one time, including delivery. So it's not necessarily practical. So at least paper silver will give you a little bit more bang for your buck in that sense. But at the end of the day, it's kind of just like investing in stocks and shares. You just pick a number when you go in, you pick a number when you come out, you take a bit of profit or you take a bit of loss. I suppose the advantage of paper silver is you can get your money out a lot faster. You don't necessarily have to find a buyer. Another advantage of paper silver is you don't have to worry about the condition of your silver. Like these silver bars here, these lovely Britannia bars, which by the way I will be putting in focus on In Focus Friday at some point in the future, I'm sure. But you know, they are very pretty. If you take them out of the plastic and put fingerprints all over them, get them all, you know, dirty and scuffed up, they're not going to be worth as much as you have paid for them. Whereas paper silver, it's just a number on a screen. You don't have to worry about the condition of coins, you don't have to worry about milk spotting and all of that jazz. It is just a number on a screen. So there are considerable advantages to having physical and paper silver. Ultimately, I would still side with the physical silver. If you can get beyond the storage issues, the weight issues, the insurance issues, the security issues, which in all honesty are all relatively low and they're not unsurmountable issues by any stretch of the imagination. So if you can get past those, physical silver, in my opinion, is the way to go. It really is. You also get the joy of actually holding it and owning it and feeling it and seeing the weight of it in your hand, or feeling the weight of it in your hand, admiring the coins, admiring everything. It's definitely much more satisfying in that regard. So is there really a place for physical silver? And this is where the question of gold comes in. So I haven't really been talking about the gold coins I have on the table here. So if you've been watching this long, this is now all about the gold. So if you're thinking about investing in physical silver because you have a very large pot of money and you want to get a large amount of silver, but you don't want to have the storage, the security, all of those things, you might want to consider gold instead, because the value to weight ratio is just so ridiculously small compared with, or ridiculously in favour of gold compared with silver, that you can pick up a vast sum of money in gold. Oop, nearly dropped that coin. In gold, and keep it safely stored. You can hide away a gold coin. You know, this is the equivalent of 80 odd ounces of silver, or maybe 75 ounces depending on the ratio, etc. But you know, there's a huge difference in the weight there. You can put this in your pocket, you can walk away with it, you can hide it in the house in a cunning place. It's a lot easier to handle, and of course you don't have to have all of that weight. And if you are looking to invest in that physical asset as that wealth preservation tool and you've got the large sums of money, silver, of course, is going to be incredibly hard to shift compared with gold. Gold is so liquid, it's so easy to do. Maybe gold coins a little bit better. And if you're just buying the standard kind of cheapo bullion, this coin, for example, was just about 2% over spot when I bought it. It's, lovely, really thin coin. I've absolutely love this one, but it's just going to be so easy to sell, and that's why I'm not bothering. These two coins are literally just bullion coins. I'm not worried about the condition of them. They're just happy to be handled by my hands, bare hands, and when the time comes, I would sell those on the secondary market or to a bullion dealer for their metal value. Obviously, if you're investing in slightly more numismatic-y coins or coins which might have a good potential for appreciation, like the Queen's Beast coins, this 1 ounce Queen's Beast Falcon, for example, is one I don't really want to touch with my bare hands. I want to keep it in as good a condition as possible. So those type of things are definitely things to consider if you are looking at investing in physical gold. Is paper gold even a thing then? If you've got the potential to have the gold, the value of your currency in gold rather than in silver, why would you want to potentially have that in gold? Well, okay, you've got to consider the security and safety side of things. Of course, if you're burgled or your house burns down and you lose that gold, that's an issue. So that, in my opinion, is really the only factor, because, again, as I said, you can hide a gold coin very easily in your house. You can hold that coin. It's your physical insurance. It's portable. You can take it with you in an emergency. If there is a financial crash and crisis, it's that insurance. And I just can't see that ever being something that you can rely on if it was in a paper form. So that is my ramble all about physical versus paper. I would love to know your opinions on this, so if you haven't already done so, please do comment down below with what you think about paper or physical gold and or silver. I would really like to know. Of course, just a reminder, not financial advice in this video. I'm not here to belittle or bash down any of your opinions on this. If you are a firm believer in paper, silver and gold relative to physical silver and gold, I'd love to hear from you, and we can have a good old spirited debate down in the comment section. Otherwise, if you like this video, if you liked this thought-provoking topic, then please do hit the thumbs up button, and if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and if you want to get notifications, the alarm bell as well. And if you've got a thought-provoking topic which you think would make a good topic for a Ponderous Wednesday and you'd like to hear me ramble on about it, then please do let me know down in the comment section, or you can drop me an email on byb@backyardbullion.com. Otherwise, that is all I have to say. A massive thank you to you all for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and please make sure you like, share, comment and subscribe for more.